Hello, historians. The Civil War is over. The Union is saved, and slavery is finally abolished. But winning the war was only half the battle. Now came the monumental task of Reconstruction, rebuilding a shattered South, reuniting the divided nation, and, most importantly, figuring out what freedom truly meant for 4 million newly freed African Americans. This chapter explores that complex and often painful period. The Civil War left the South in ruins. Cities, farms, and railroads were destroyed. The economy was shattered, and its entire social system, built on slavery, was gone. Just as the war ended, America faced another tragedy: the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln in April 1865. Lincoln had a plan for a lenient, forgiving Reconstruction. His death left the difficult task of rebuilding the nation to his successor, Andrew Johnson, and a deeply divided Congress. Immediately, there was a big disagreement over how Reconstruction should work. President Andrew Johnson, a Southern Democrat who had remained loyal to the Union, favored a quick and lenient approach, wanting to bring the Southern states back into the Union with minimal changes. However, a group in Congress called the Radical Republicans believed the South needed to be punished for secession and that the federal government had to do much more to protect the rights of newly freed African Americans. This led to a huge power struggle between Johnson and Congress. The most immediate and profound change was the end of slavery. The 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865, officially and permanently abolished slavery throughout the entire United States. This was the freedom many had fought and died for. But freedom meant more than just the end of slavery. Congress passed more amendments to ensure civil rights. The 14th Amendment, 1868, granted citizenship and equal protection under the law to all persons born or naturalized in the U.S., including former slaves. The 15th Amendment, 1870, specifically granted African American men the right to vote. To help the 4 million newly freed people, Congress created the Freedmen's Bureau, 1872. It provided food, housing, medical aid, schools, and legal assistance to former enslaved people and poor whites. It was crucial in establishing hundreds of schools for African American children and adults. Despite these efforts, economic challenges persisted. Many freedmen had no land or money. A new labor system called sharecropping emerged, where freedmen rented land from former slave owners and paid with a share of their crops. While theoretically free, this often trapped them in a cycle of debt and poverty, resembling slavery in many ways. Even with new amendments, many Southern states immediately passed black codes. These laws aimed to severely restrict the rights and freedoms of African Americans, forcing them into labor contracts and preventing them from owning land or voting. These were early versions of later Jim Crow laws. Resistance to Reconstruction and African American equality also became violent. Groups like the Ku Klux Klan emerged, using terror, intimidation, and violence, including lynchings, to suppress African American voters and leaders, and to restore white supremacy. By the mid-1870s, Northern enthusiasm for Reconstruction waned. The disputed presidential election of 1876 led to the Compromise of 1877. In exchange for Rutherford B. Hayes becoming president, federal troops were withdrawn from the South. This withdrawal effectively ended federal intervention in the South. Without federal protection, Southern states swiftly moved to suppress African American voting rights and enforce segregation. The hopes for true equality that emerged from the Civil War would largely be delayed for another century. Reconstruction was a vital but ultimately incomplete chapter in American history. It demonstrated the federal government's power to enforce civil rights, leading to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, truly revolutionary changes. But the widespread resistance and the compromise of 1877 showed that transforming a society is a long and difficult process, leaving a painful legacy and an ongoing struggle for racial justice that continues to this day. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more history content. And for additional resources and to support future videos, consider joining our community on Patreon. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.